What is up, guys? We're about to go live with the man, Evan Carmichael here. This guy's a freaking YouTube legend. What's up, Evan?
It's happening. We're here.
How are you, brother?
Good. How are you, Tyler?
I'm doing well, man. Every day is an absolute blessing and pleasant to be alive, man. What about you?
Where are you? Where's home for you?
I'm from Cleveland originally, but I'm here in Tampa right now. So.
Oh, okay. It looks cloudy for Tampa.
I know, it's so weird. It's like, I used to live in California. Whenever it rains, it's like people are like they drive super slow on the roads because they don't know what to do. Like they don't know, it's so different for them. But yeah, it is cloudy.
Yeah, I remember we connected way back when I was doing my tour, and Cleveland was the last stop on the tour. But I'm like, that doesn't look like Cleveland behind you there. Where are you right there anyway?
Right. Yeah, and I actually saw you. I think I was at the first event of your tour in LA. It was actually in LA. I think that was at the beginning of 2019. So it's been a while since we last connected. I think you did at the Hilton. But yeah, man, I'm super excited to have you on. And I know I like to keep it conversational, but you know, a lot of the people that follow me are always looking to. They're coaches, they're experts, right? They're people who, you know, they were very similar in a situation like you where they have expertise, they've been at a job, but now it's like transitioning into starting something on their own, right? And so there's a lot of obstacles when it comes to actually starting something on your own. And I teach people how to create a high ticket offer, getting followers, getting more leads, and helping them grow their brand and grow their business. So just tell a little bit more about your story of how you started and kind of how you got to where you are today.
Yeah. Where do we want to start? I had a lot of entrepreneur. Oh, sorry, something specific you want?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you first started, what was your first entrepreneurial venture, and then was it something like when you started your YouTube channel? Was this something that you've always wanted to do? Like, how did you kind of get into video, and kind of tell us a little bit more about the transition of when you first started your YouTube channel to now where it's kind of developed and progressed into?
Got it. So I started my channel in April of 2009. I was going to say 2019. It's not 2019. April 2009. So it's been a minute.
Right.
YouTube wasn't a thing really back then. It wasn't. Did I always want to do it? No, because nobody was doing it. Right. It wasn't. There were no experts. There was no thought leadership. YouTube wasn't a place where you go for education. Not really. So I just did it because I liked a visual platform. I'm a visual learner. I'd much rather see, like, the fact that I can see you here makes it easier for me than just audio only. And at the time, YouTube was the only visual platform, so that's why I went to YouTube. I didn't know where it was going to lead. I didn't have ambitions. I wasn't smart enough, Tyler, to say, I know, you know, in 2020, YouTube's going to be this huge thing, and I'm going to be, you know, positioned at the front of it, right? Or 2021 or 2022 or whatever, right? No, I just experimented with it. I liked it. It took me 5 years to get to 7,000 subscribers. So it wasn't like I popped at the beginning, right? I'm sure a lot of your audience could already pass me, you know, 5 years to get to 7,000 subscribers is not very good. And then the next 5 years went from 7,000 subscribers to 2 million. So, and now we're almost at 3. So yeah, it's been a fun journey.
So with you, man, like as an entrepreneur, that was one of the biggest obstacles I faced when I first started, was like focusing on the right things that I should be doing consistently day in and day out. So with all these new technologies now, with crypto, NFTs, you know, trading cards, you have you know, TikTok, you have Clubhouse. How were you able to decipher, like, okay, YouTube is the channel that I want to play at, and how did you know that you wanted to stay consistent with it? Because after 5 years of you putting consistent effort into it, you only got like minimal results. So how did you know that you wanted to keep going with YouTube, and how can entrepreneurs and people who are looking to focus and go to the next level, how can they determine what that thing that they should be focusing on daily?
Well, you have to love the actual process of it. You know, I've studied more successful people than most people and just the work that I do. You know, and the number one rule that keeps coming back is that you have to love what you do, that you have to love the actual process of doing it. So when I started YouTube, it wasn't to try to be YouTube famous. I think if that's your goal, you're probably going to lose. You're gonna lose the people who actually love it, right? Like I've done over 10,000 videos now, Tyler. 10,000 videos. It's been at least 7 years since we haven't uploaded a video every single day on the channel. And people ask me, well, don't you burn out? No, because I love it. Like talking to you, this isn't work for me. This is fun, right? When I see, oh, Tyler's on the schedule, that's awesome. We're gonna have a good chat. Let's do this. It doesn't look like, oh, that's, even though it's my working hours, it's not work. So if you're constantly feeling like you're burnt out, you're probably doing the wrong thing. I'm getting more energy from this. Like after this conversation, I'm gonna go do something else, and I'm gonna have more energy than when I came in because of doing the work. Right? And so that's how you know you're doing the right thing.
100%.
And there's a million opportunities always coming by. I forget who said opportunities are like trains or buses. There's a new one coming by all the time. I think it was Warren Buffett. And with the speed of things, it's only getting faster. So you don't have to be on everything. And it's great to try a whole bunch. Like I love Clubhouse. Clubhouse is fantastic. But it's an audio first platform. It's an audio only platform. And it kills me because I can't see people. So I'm not all in on Clubhouse.
Right.
It's not where I want. It's not. It just doesn't match. It would be so much more work for me to do and less fulfilling than doing video. So if Clubhouse goes video, then maybe I'll double down and go crazy on it. And so it's just. But I tasted it. You know, I've been in Clubhouse rooms. I've hosted Clubhouse rooms. I've done interviews. I tasted it before just writing it off and saying, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I tasted it. I tested it. I tried it. And you see, do you like it? Do you want to go back and do it again?
Right.
That becomes the acid test. It's not like if you go on a date with somebody, it's not do I want to marry this person? It's do I want to go back for a second date? If you try YouTube, even if it sucks, did I like the process of making videos? Do I want to go back and do it again? If you quit too soon on it, what's going to happen is you're going to regret it. A lot of people that I'm helping now on YouTube started at the same time that I did, or some people even earlier, and they're at still the 5,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers just because they quit on it too soon.
Right.
And they're like, oh, I wish I didn't quit back in 2010 now that YouTube's popped and it's, you know, taken off. So yeah, if you quit on the thing that you love, you're going to regret that your entire life.
100%. And one of the questions here was, how can I find my passion? You kind of alluded to that. You have to fall in love with the process. And you know, I always tell people too, because I think this is the biggest thing. I totally agree. It's like you have to trust the process, right? And you have to fall in love with the process, because so many people they'll define their value, their happiness by the end result. Where if you kind of live that game, you'll never be fulfilled compared to if you love the day-to-day hustle, the day-to-day grind. And like I always say the same analogy with dating as well. It's like, you know, I'm sure you kind of did the same way, where you kind of experimented with a lot of different things to find, okay, I like this aspect of this thing. I like this. I'm a visual learner, so I like video. So what can I use video for? And so you're kind of piecing it together, and you don't have all the answers right away, but then you start to, you know, you keep evolving, you keep moving forward, and then you realize that, wow, this is something that I love. So what about the people that, you know, maybe someone like their passion is like music, or maybe they have a passion and it doesn't actually pay them money, right? So then it's like, how do you kind of help, you know, what do you say to those people? Because that's kind of where I was at when I first started, you know, 7 years ago, is that I'm passionate about certain things. You know, I'm sure you were like making these videos, you love the process, but at the end of the day, you have to pay your bills and you have expenses to pay for. So, you know, what type of advice would you give those people when it comes to people who want to pursue their passion, but also they're not seeing the results financially? You know, what kind of next steps would you give those people?
You have to figure out how to bring more value to people. So every successful business is a combination of what you love doing with what gives value to people. If you love it, but it doesn't serve anybody, you've got a hobby.
Right.
It could be a really fulfilling hobby. It makes you feel great to sit in your basement playing the guitar, but if it's not bringing value to anybody, it's just a hobby. Mm-hmm. Some people go the other way and they're only chasing what there's opportunity in, but they don't love it. Mm-hmm. Like, don't go chasing NFTs or Clubhouse or crypto if you don't love it, because you're gonna get destroyed by the people who actually love it.
Right.
And so it's in that intersection of what do I love doing that can be of service and bring value to other people. And that's the success story of every single entrepreneur who's made it. They love the thing and it brings value to people. So if you love it, awesome. Now you got to figure out, how do I use my skill set, my talent, what I love doing to help other people.
100%. Absolutely. So now that and tell me, it's like when your passion overlaps you with your responsibility, that's like your purpose, right? It's like when you have responsibility, you found your passion, and you can kind of bring that together, because you do have to factor in what your responsibilities are. But as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, your responsibility is to provide as much value and as much impact as possible to the people that you interact with. So you kind of were posting these videos. I know your story in terms of, I know you just started posting videos randomly, but like, what gravitated you towards personal development, and what type of videos, what was your process when you first started? How did it evolve in terms of the videos that you were making initially, and the quality? What did you start with? What was your type of equipment, and how has that kind of evolved? Because it's an interesting. I want people to see the journey that people see you now, but you weren't always like at this position.
Yeah, in terms of equipment, just start. I will still make videos off of my iPhone.
Right.
And I've got 3 million subscribers and 500 million views or whatever is on the channel. I'll still make some videos off my iPhone. Don't let the fear of the lack of knowledge, the lack of gear, be the thing that prevents you from getting started. You've got a great idea, a great mission, a great heart, and your excuses for why you can't do it is the only thing that's separating you from the people who are off winning. For any of those people who say, "Oh, that person won off of my idea," well, it's not your idea. They had the same idea. It's not like they came and tapped your brain while you were dreaming and then sucked it out and they just did something with it. Right. And I'm really passionate about this, Tyler, because I think a lot of people have that good heart. You want to serve because you're so afraid. And meanwhile, dummies are winning off of your idea. Dummies with less ambition, less intent, less heart, less of a desire to serve. They're winning off of your idea because you are too afraid, and they just got started.
Right.
The plan is never the plan. Like, whenever you start something, you can have a great plan of how you think it's going to work out. Great. That's not how it's going to work out. You're going to have to adjust a million times. Like, that's the story of an entrepreneur. It's the ability to adjust to the circumstances. Everybody had a plan for last year, and then COVID came. Like, did you adjust? Right? Are you tweaking your business model? And people are so caught up on having the perfect plan that then it's weeks and months and years go by before you've done anything, because the plan will never be perfect.
Right. I actually was talking to my friend. This was about 6 or 7 years ago. This was when I was still in college with some of my friends, and then he came up with this idea. It was like those Tide Pods, but for protein powders that you can just put it in your drink. You shake it up, and it automatically dissolves. I literally saw that in the store in GNC today, and I texted my buddy. I was like, "Dude, look, this was your freaking idea." And I remember when I first connected with him, he's like, "Dude, I have this idea. I don't want to tell anyone about it. Like, I don't want anyone to take it. I got these rights to it, all this." But like what you were saying, I could care less if you have my idea. Like, the ideas come and go, but it's the people that actually execute on the idea. Even if you have this idea to do this thing, it's like you have to do it consistently, day in, day out. And the only way you can do that sustainably is if you enjoy it. So 100%, man. So what was your initial plan? I mean, what was your vision for yourself when you first started, man? Because you started off, what, as like a 9-to-5, you're based out of Canada. Like, how did you know you wanted more out of life? Like, what was the initial plan? And like you said, it's kind of evolved now that you kept going. But what's kind of the mission and statement now versus from when you first started?
So when I first started, I didn't have as much awareness. So I couldn't have articulated it very well. I've since grown and learned, and I believe your purpose comes from your pain. Mm-hmm. I think whatever you struggled with the most as a human being, whenever you felt the lowest of the low, worthless as a human, not physical pain like you broke your neck or something, but emotional pain where you felt just worthless, your purpose is to help all the people who currently are like that.
Right.
So that's my purpose for the rest of my life, and everybody else. Whatever you struggled with, understand that You're not done. I'm not done growing and learning and getting better. But I think back to 19-year-old Evan, who really struggled and suffered and just felt worthless. And I make this interview is for him. I make all my content for him. I make all my newsletters for him. I make all my books and my programs for him, because there are millions of people right now who currently are him and they need my help. And so whoever you used to be, you've grown a lot. Like if you're watching Tyler's channel, you've grown a lot. You've learned a lot. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago. That person you were 5 years ago maybe doesn't even want to talk to Tyler. Maybe the person you were 5 years ago thinks Tyler's some motivational guru BS, personal development is garbage, right? But now you're here and you're listening. So you've evolved over the past 5 years to recognize that personal development is important and you're on a journey. So go back and talk to that person who you used to be 5 years ago, because they need help. They need support. And you can reach them in a way that Evan Carmichael can't, and Tyler can't, and Tony Robbins can't. And so if you can tap that, if you can combine that your purpose comes from your pain, that ends up giving you who you want to help. Right. I want to help entrepreneurs believe in themselves more, right? The passion part comes in, like, how are you doing it? I'm going to do it because I love videos. I love modern success. And so in that combination of purpose plus passion, you can build a business.
100%. I'm actually doing a TEDx talk later this year. And the topic that I'm talking about is the why me moments, these moments that we've all had. And you kind of brought it back to life, and you gave me a different perspective on it. Thinking back of that Tyler I was 5 or 6 years ago, that Evan, that you 19 years old, was these why me moments that they happen to you. And you ask yourself, why is this happening to me? These moments where you don't see any positive, there's no blessing from it at all in the moment. But then as you evolve and as you kind of learn through your experience, you look back at those moments and you say those are actually the biggest blessings in your life. And to even taking it a step further, they actually give you clarity on what you need to do moving forward. And for example, for me, I actually had a speech impediment as a little kid. And I was always like, why can't I just be normal? Why can't I, be like everyone else? But then it's like, now I'm going to get on the TEDx stage. So it's like, for me, who didn't have any direction at one point, that struggled with certain things, these why me moments actually define who you are and actually give you the guiding light of what you need to do to pursue. And you bring it to life by...
Well, let's pause on that for a second, because you are an impossibility to younger Tyler. It's not possible. Like, what you're doing is not possible. It's like, there's no way. Kid with a speech impediment is going to be doing interview shows with people who he looks up to and respects, is going to be doing public speaking on one of the biggest brands, in the public speaking circuit. It's like, it's no way. There's no way. Like, you talked to Tyler from 10 years ago, like, there's no way I'm going to do that. I can't,
right.
It's not possible. Have you seen me? I have a speech impediment.
Right.
But you've done it. You're here. So you're an impossibility, not even to the world. You're an impossibility to who you used to be. And so there are so many people who are like that, who are the kid with the speech impediment, who feel like, I can't get going, I can never do it. And so, like, that's not my journey. So I can't talk to the kid with the speech impediment as well as you could,
right? Because
you've lived it. You've gone through that why me moment, in your words, and I haven't. So that's where we all have this responsibility. I could talk about being an introvert and being shy and getting on stage and getting in front and doing 10,000 videos and all that stuff. That's true to my story, but I've never had a, speech impediment. So we've all got these things that we've come through, and a lot of us get stuck in the, I wish I could be further ahead. I wish I could be here. I wish I could I want 10 million subscribers, dude. I'm only at 3. It's just bigger problems. We all want to be continuing to grow. Amazing. But every now and then you got to pause and say, hey, I'm already an impossibility compared to who I used to be. And those are the people that I need to go and serve.
Yeah, and really, I always tell people this too. It's like the things that happen to you, because there's certain things like people have go through like severe trauma where it's like you have control of that depending on your age and whatnot. But it's like your past experiences and the things that happen to you, they don't define your value that you have today. You get to reinvent yourself every single day. I get to wake up. I'm blessed with a new opportunity today to express and create. And that's where when people, they're kind of, the victim mentality, or they're kind of inside their own head, they feel like they can't do it. But, once they believe that they can, now you get into a place of creation. And then no matter what that looks like for someone, we all can create. But when we're all in this place of creation versus consumption, that's when great things start to happen. And for you, it started off with just that first video, and now it's kind of evolved into 3 million views, right? Or 3 million subscribers and beyond. But it's also like being happy in the moment, and so you can continue to move forward. So for you, I always ask people this question because I know I want to be respectful of your time. It's like, with all the experience and knowledge you have now, what's something you wish you would have known when you first started?
So I think the kind of advice you would give to your younger self, I go through this exercise of what's your most important core value. So like if I had to ask you, Tyler, what's your most important core value?
It's courage and commitment to excellence. Those are my 2 core values.
Perfect. So like let's just play with one. So take courage. Mine is believe, by the way. So I love your little rant in the past 2 minutes of believe. That was great. The message to your younger self, the thing that you wish you knew, isn't some tactic. Isn't like, I knew YouTube was going to blow up, so I invest more time. The advice that you would give to your younger self is your most important core value. I would tell 19-year-old Evan to believe more. You would tell 15-year-old Tyler to have more courage. It's not a tactic. It's courage. Tyler, dude, have more courage. Come on, like, let's go. You can do this. Have more courage. But I used to hate those kinds of questions because you can't go back and talk to Tyler who's 15. Where it became really practical is if you looked at 90-year-old Tyler coming back to 2021 Tyler, it's the same message. 90-year-old Tyler saying, Tyler from 2021, dude, more courage. Come on. Like, this is where, for achievers, it's really hard because your friends are going to look at you and say, look at this guy. He's got so much courage. Speech impediment. Now he's living a life in Tampa, doing speeches, doing all these programs. It's like the people around you, people you grew up with, look at you as being the guy with all the courage. But you're nothing compared to Tyler, 90 years old. And right. Tyler, 90 years old, saying, dude, like your next big breakthrough is on the other side of even more courage.
Right.
Even more commitment to excellence. 100%. It's the same thing for me. It's like the other side of my next big breakthrough is on even more belief in myself. As much as I am the believe guy, I need even more to get to the next level.
Right. Well, with that, because courage and belief are very similar, right? Courage is doing something that you don't want to do or you're scared to do, but you're willing to do it anyways in spite of the fear, right? And believe is believing something that you cannot see, feel, or touch, right? Like you believe that you can get 10 million subscribers when that actually it's not the reality right now. So you have to have faith and you have to believe. So how can someone consider, what are some things that people can do to, always take their belief to the next level? What are some of the things that you're doing consistently to consistently build that belief so they can get it to that level where it's like, until it becomes their reality, that what their goals are?
Yeah, I mean, I know we got to pop, but 2 quick things. One is to start to surround yourself more with the people who are embodying that belief, right? So, and whatever, it's not just believing in yourself, whatever you want more. You want more courage, be around more courageous people. If I want to be a better parent, I'm going to hang out with my parents more. If I want to be a better visionary, I'm going to hang out with, Steve Jobs more. And I can't meet Steve Jobs, but there's enough of his content out there that you can be around it and learn it. So that's step number 1. If you love Tyler, great. If Tyler makes you feel like things are possible, if Tyler gives you more courage or commitment to excellence, follow him. Subscribe to his shows. Have Tyler. If Tyler was living with you every day, you're going to grow and you're going to get more courageous and have more commitment to excellence. So have him live with you by watching all his stuff constantly. So I'm around Elon Musk and Steve Jobs and Oprah Winfrey and these people every day. It's what I needed when I was 19, and it's still what I need today at 40, and that's why I do what I do. So step number 1 is to radically change your environment to have the people from the things that are on your wall to what's in your Instagram feed, your YouTube feed, from the clothes that you wear to the thing that you're drinking, right? Like all of it is a reminder of who you want to be. And then so that gives you the framework to start to feel it more. Step 2 is, and there's only 2 steps, you got to do something.
All right.
Like you could watch Tyler all day long and get courage, great. But now Tyler's not going to come and make the call for you. Tyler's not going to come and launch that drink company for you. Tyler's not going to come and, right? So you have to do it.
Right.
But what Tyler can do, what I can do, what whoever can do is give you that little bit of motivation, that little bit of courage to then take the step and to build momentum. So you need that motivation daily, because you might be super fired up and inspired today. Awesome. You're going to wake up tomorrow and go back to not having as much courage and confidence and belief. And so you need that as part of your daily routine to get you inspired to the point where you then take the action that you're afraid to do.
Right.
That consistency every day, you do that, your life will change dramatically.
Guys, it goes like this, right? The believe, upward trend.
Let's go.
Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Evan's YouTube channel already, definitely we need to get him to 10 million, because he wants to impact and change more people's lives, just like he's already doing. So, and if you haven't followed him on Instagram, follow him on Instagram. But Evan, it's always a pleasure. I know we both have things to do to fulfill our purpose today, and I want to make sure you're fully aware of those things and you attack them 100%, man. I appreciate you for being on.
Thanks for having me, Tyler. Appreciate you, man. Much love.
See you, brother.